Hi everybody, my name is Chloe and I am the lead for PDN. I'm also a Wakelet ambassador, and this session, this little 10 minutes, is all going to be about using Wakelet. Now, that's a really posh title, Wakelet ambassador, but really that's just, it's a posh title for just really digging this particular platform and liking all the different ways that it can be used in FE, in our practice, with learners, with colleagues, with peers in loads of different ways. So I'm going to do a whistle stop tour. The great thing about videos is that you can pause it and play it back and all that kind of business whenever you like to and whenever you need to. In front of you is a Wakelet that I've made, and at the end I'm going to give you a short link for it so that you can access it and read it in your own time as well, in case I skip past things, just so that you can have a little bit of time with it. So let's get started. And first of all, the question is, what is a Wakelet? Well, like I said, this right in front of you, this is a Wakelet. It's just like a scrolling website, and it can be used for curation, so adding lots of different kinds of content, for presentation, but also for collaboration. That's the really exciting thing about it, that it can be used collaboratively. So it can be used in loads and loads of different ways. But I'm just going to show you just a few in this short video. All right, I'm going to scroll on down and we're going to start with why Wakelet. Well, let's start with why Wakelet for me. And I'll tell you a little story. So I started using Wakelet because you can actually embed tweets in it. And I used to do conference reportage. So I would basically be bringing together all different things that happened at an event, whether that would include resources, and PowerPoints, and links and all the different things, all the gold nuggets that came out of the sessions. And I just wanted a way to bring all of that together that wasn't just like a big heavy email with lots of links in. So I also wanted a way to put tweets in there, because loads of people were tweeting all these different events. Not everyone's on Twitter. In fact, the majority of educators aren't on Twitter. So I wanted somewhere where I can embed all these tweets. And I just Googled it and I found this particular thing called Wakelet, which was very new back then. It was a few years ago. They're a very new company. And since then, there's loads of new exciting things that they've been doing. They're constantly building the brand up. So yeah, that's why I started using it, because I wanted a way to embed Twitter or different tweets. Since then, I've been using that embedding in lots of different ways. So using it in when I'm writing blogs, I use Wakelet to write blogs with, and I pop a tweet in there. If I get excited and inspired by something, then it just kind of like, ticks something off that makes me want to write a blog, then I can pop a tweet in there. It's a really, really cool tool to be able to add tweets into things like this. And the other thing is that it has something called immersive reader. So if you go down here, you see this little book with an audio symbol. If I click on that, and it'll bring up this particular section that we were just looking at, and it'll allow me to play that and read it out loud, and it'll also highlight as it goes along. And if you click on certain words, there we go, it comes up with a picture version of it. It's a really funky thing that is just embedded directly into Wakelet. You don't need to go outside of it to do this. You don't need to have an extra app as a screen reader. It's just already here. And there's some really cool things up here too. And, with my ESOL teacher hat on, I look at these different things here. You can change the spacing. You can change the colour of the background, or the different kind of writing. Oh, and you can also change, this is really great as well. Look at that. It like selects all the nouns for you in one particular colour. Also does the syllables. And the last one there, reading preferences, you can translate it into loads of different languages as well. So yeah, that's really neat. I really like that immersive reader is just embedded and ready to go in your Wakelets. So why Wakelet? I've got 3 things here that I've written down. The first one is it's multimodal. And by that, I mean you can add tweets, you can add images, you can add Flipgrid. There's a browser extension that makes it really nice and easy for you to use. So you can, as you're looking at stuff online, you can just throw them on into a Wakelet. It's also got an integration within Teams, Google Classroom, and things like that. And they're working on lots more integrations too, so you can use it from within Teams. And also, Wakelet now has reactions, which is a new thing as of a few weeks ago. So if you see up here, I can give a reaction to how I feel about this whole collection. If I scroll on down to this section, the bottom of this section, they've also got reactions to each section. So you can give a reaction to this little thing that I've written here once you get the link to the Wakelet if you'd like to. So there's all those different things that you can add, and I'm going to show you how to edit it right now. So if I click edit there we go. It's going to turn to the edit mode. I'm going to scroll on down. If I click this plus button, it's going to show you all the different things that you can add to it. Okay, so you can add a web address there, you can add text, image, different bookmarks of things that you may have added onto other Wakelets. Great for convenience, so you don't have to keep doing the same thing over and over. You can add PDFs, and then down here you've got all your different apps. And what I like about it is that these apps are embedded, so you don't have to, if you want to add a YouTube video, you don't need to go to YouTube to go and get the link. You can just click on YouTube and write in a search term, and then a video will come up, and then you can just add it. The same with your tweets, the same with Flipgrid there, your video. If you click on that, it'll immediately come up with a recorder, and you can record something and do it straight into Wakelet. So your learners don't have to go out to Flipgrid, record something and come back in. None of that. It's all just straight there for you in Wakelet. Once you've done it, you click done, and then it's added. Nice and easy peasy. So go and have a little play with all those different things. I really like how it looks as well. I think that's number two. Yeah, the interface is really simple and intuitive. So even this is really nice and simple to me. I like that we've got images as well as the text under there that comes on up when the cursor goes on top of it. I really like that. I like that we've got the big green buttons here. So when I click that big plus button, you know, so it's telling me where I need to go to add things. Right, I'm going to go out of edit mode, and then I'm going to scroll on down to my last reason why I like using Wakelet. So we've got number one, it's multimodal. Number two, the interface is simple and intuitive. The last point there is that you don't need to log on to use someone else's Wakelet to collaborate. You just use a URL, a QR, or a code, which is brilliant. They don't need, you know, if you're going to use this with your learners, they don't need to log on or anything. They just need a URL or a code or a QR. You've got lots of different options there for them to collaborate. And the last reason why I really like Wakelet is that there are different layers of collaboration. And for you to, I would totally recommend going into Wakelet and exploring what I really mean by that. But you can view only. So I could give you this link and you could just view it. I could give you a link that would allow you to view and add things. And I can also give you a link that would view and allow you to add and edit other people's things. So really that depends on how you're going to use it. So how would you use those different ways of collaboration depending on how you're going to use it. And the last thing is Wakelet has this really cool thing called spaces, which allow you to organize all of your different Wakelets together in different spaces, basically, which is really funky. So I'm going to show you quickly one of my spaces. Okay, so I'm going to go to my home page here, and if I go down to the left hand side, you can see all these little dots, and these are all of my different spaces that I've got. Okay, this is the one that I showed you just then. We were in my FE training space. That's what we're in right now, using Wakelet and FE. That's the Wakelet that I've created. But if I go to my ATS space, this is where all my blogs were that I was talking about before. There you go. You can see all of these different things, and you can see that there's quite a lot here, and that's because it's just loading, just a few more. There you go. I've got loads there, but they're not all public. If I scroll on up, you can see this one's public. There's a little world there. This one's not. It's got a lock on it. So I've got loads here that I kind of like. If you look at this one here, there's only one item in it. So I've just popped something in there to let it compost, to let me let it brew, let me think about it. That could be a tweet that's in there that I've thought, oh yeah, that's inspired me. I'll just let it sit there for a little bit before I start writing about it. So The cool thing about spaces is that what you can see right now, this is the back end, this is what I can see, but this isn't the public view. So I can see everything, including all the ones that I've locked up that are private, that aren't public yet. But if I click on this link here, you'll be able to see the public view. This is the public view of my ATS space. So you can access this after today if you like. There's my little handle there at Chloe_ATS. And you can see here, this is what it would look like to the public. These are all the different wakelets that I've got. You can see there's a lot less than what I just showed you then. That's because these are all my public ones that I'm allowing folks to see. But they're not all collaborative. I think these are all, the majority of them are just, they're not collaborative. So I've made them so that they're just view only, basically. All right, let's go back to the space that we were on before and finish up. So I'm going to go to home, and then I'm going to go, we were in the FE training space, weren't we? Fantastic, okay. And then using Wakelet and FE. All right, let's scroll on down to where we were. Why Wakelet? We've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, I've got a few more there that you might like. I'm going to click on that. There we go, to bring it up. This is called presenter mode, which is really funky because it allows me to just pop this up on the screen, kind of use it like slides if I like. So this particular image that I've added here details a few other reasons why you might really like it as well. I tried to make it just 3 for you, but there's quite a few other bits and bobs here that you can have a little read through. You can copy different ones, which is fantastic. Oh, that should be definitely high on the list as well. So you can recycle. You can recycle other people's if they've allowed you to copy, or you can recycle your own. It's really great. Great for convenience. Time is precious and all of that. So I'm going to move on now to how you can use it. I'm going to see how I just flicked onto the next page there with my little arrow. So this is my next section, which is how, and you can see there's loads of different things on here. And you could add loads of your own as well. I'm sure there's lots of things you've come up with, but you could use it for reflections in ILPs, AFL activities, RARPA evidence. I started using it with Twitter. I've seen loads of people using Wakelet for curating Twitter chats. I wrote a PDN report last year all on Wakelet. That was a Wakelet because I could add lots of different stuff. I could have videos, Twitter posts, all of these different great things. You could use it for portfolios, an exit ticket, literature analysis. Oh, there's loads of different things you could use it for. Have a little look through there. All right, I'm going to go out of that, back to our main space. That's my how, scrolling on down. There we go. You can see that. I've popped a little tweet in there as an example to show you how swish it looks. Doesn't that look nice? If you click on it as well, you can actually, it just takes you to the tweet, so you can go and have a little look at, all those comments, those 138 comments there. All right, so the rest of the stuff that's on this Wakelet, I'm going to skip on through because you don't need me to be talking about these. You can have a little look in your own time. So I've popped on here some resources to get you started. Here is the official Wakelet guide. So you can click on through there to get the official Wakelet guide. And then you've got there's a course there on the MS Educator space. There's some templates. What did I say before about convenience? Yes, lots of templates there you can have a little look at and just copy and use for yourself, and lots of ideas there as well from the Wakelet and the Wakelet community. Now at the bottom here, I've popped some FE examples on, these ones that I've kind of been keeping an ear out and seeing what other people are putting on Wakelet. And we've got a few different things here. This is a training space. This is the training space that you're in right now. This is mine. So there's lots of Wakelets on there that you can view, but also copy. We've got some podcasts here. Oh, this is made by Isla. Absolutely fantastic Wakelet collection there of lots of different podcasts that are going on. Yeah, we've got loads of different examples down here. I'm going to scroll on to the bottom because I'd like to explain that I've made this particular Wakelet a collaborative Wakelet. And what I'd love to do is, if you use Wakelet in your practice and you want to shout about it, then go on here. This is the address, bit.ly/Wakelet FE, and it needs to be those capitals, so capital W, capital FE. Click that edit button and add your own Wakelet on, and I'm going to share this with the FE community and with Wakelet as well, and I'd love to see all the different fantastic things that you're doing with Wakelet. Thanks for listening. Enjoy.